Good morning, guys. How are you all? I hope everyone had a good weekend. So after 1 week, very nice weekend. We have a holiday today. So Monday we have pre-closed market around 1 p.m. The market will be closed. By the way, you can hear me. If you can't hear me, just let me know. Okay. Thank you, Archana, for confirming that you can hear me. Before starting today's live, I would love to clearly tell you that whoever would love to trade today, please close the stream, do your own trading, and then later maybe you can check if you need. But I am not comfortable to trade today. No trade should be valid today. First of all, after the weekend, everyone is in rush to trade, and today's pre-market is going to close prematurely. So around 1 p.m. it will be closed. So everyone will be rushed. There is much more possibility that it will be a manipulative market. So in this manipulation market, maybe low volatility, maybe it will be so much choppiness, maybe it will be clear price action. I don't want to take the risk over here. If you take a closer look to the calendar, this is that WEF annual meetings this whole week. This is the meeting which will going to happen the whole week. So this week is the lowest probable week. So make sure that no one is in rush. This whole week is not good for trading. Especially today is not absolutely the, the worst idea to trade today. Trump is going to speak today, so there can be little volatility, lot of choppiness with high volatility. Everything is like very risky today. This is the most risky market here to trade. I personally would love to say that please don't try to trade today. Instead of that, just watch the market, enjoy the price action. Whoever is feeling like I have to take entries, they have to work with their psychology, because psychologically you are not good, because after 2 days you are not trading 2 days, right? Saturday and Sunday, that was weekend. Today's Monday. You are not patient enough to put an order on the market. But unfortunately this is also a weekend, I mean, sorry, a kind of holiday for USD. Though the future market is open, but it is the USD holiday. So make sure that you're not in rush and you are working with your psychology. If you feel in rush to trade today, make sure that you're not trading your real money or your funded account. Yeah, you can trade your eval. If you have no problem to buy a new eval, then you obviously you can trade the eval. But the best idea to trade the paper money. That is the best way. Not only today but also the whole week. So from the next week is also low probability. Until 7th of February it is low probability, but this week is the lowest probable area to trade. You have to accept it, and now it's up to you. Okay? So I think that my point is clear. So please don't rush. Instead, be patient until next week. And this week do least trade. I mean, maybe 1 or 2 trade maximum in a week. This whole week try to go for 1 or maximum two trade. That is the best idea in my opinion, but rest up to you. If you would love to trade, it's up to you. This is the weekly chart. This was the TGIF, which market didn't complete in Friday. My intention to see that can market come here to complete this TGIF by today. So far it has taken previous week high. Now my intention to see can it come back again until this minus 20, I mean sorry 20% of that whole range of the weekly candle. So there will be a line here. You will see in the lower time frame there will be a bold line. Yeah, so there will be a bold line over here, which is the 20% of the weekly range of the last week. So I want to see that this market can reach over here or not. That is my first intention to see. If it keep going higher, obviously we have to take or change our decision. But as the beginning of the session or a day, I have to have an idea in my mind that is going to tell me this way market can trade. So here I don't see any kind of buy side liquidity, nothing over here so far. I would love to see this market will reverse and come to this black line, which is 20% of that weekly candle, at least over here, then maximum 30%. Until that area, I would love to see that market will fall. If it doesn't fall this way and keep going higher, maybe we'll change our mind depending on that 15-minute chart or lower time frame. We'll see what is in the lower time frame. This is the daily chart. In daily chart, all you can see that market made lower low, lower low, lower low. Here, every single time market failed to take high. It is much more confident to look for the buy here by thinking that this market will go for the all-time high again or something like that. I'm not convinced yet to think about that. Still, I'm bearish for thinking this low and that low, which are the relatively equal lows, this low and that low from the daily chart. I want to see that this market will come here to take this relatively equal lows. At the same time, I don't want to see that this guy will took that high. It is not convincing to think that it is going to take that high, because if it can take that high, then I have to think like that way. Market has taken all the liquidity here, failed to take that extreme low before, after failing to take the extreme low, making a bullish fair value gap, give me the market structure shift. There will be some kind of bullish fair value gap, tap to this bullish fair value gap, it will go for that all-time high again, or maybe that high and then finally all-time high. Still now I'm not interested to think about all-time high. I also don't want to see that market is going to take that high. How far it can reach? Maximum the rejection block from the daily chart. This candle close, you see the line here. It can reach maximum until this rejection block. I'll just mark a line over there here, and let me mark it as a black bold line. Is it in every time frame? Yeah, every time frame. So yeah, maximum it can reach until this area, and after reaching over there, I want to see that this market will come back again to that line, which is the weekly 20% for TGIF, as market didn't finish its job in Friday to make the TGIF. So I would love to see that it will fall here. At the same time, that is the down close body close candle, and that week 50% is also the same area, as well as this volume balance over here. So this is a volume balance from the daily chart, as you can see here. I'm not in rush, not even the the 9:30 open, because to be honest, it's not worthy to trade over here. So this was a volume balance where I had the sell side delivery over there. So I had a black candle over here. If there is a bull candle as well, that means this volume balance is no more liquidity void anymore. So as you can see that in Friday, market has provided that green candle around this area. So this volume balance has been perfectly mitigated, or something like there is no inefficiency anymore. So it has done that. The market opened today, trade until this volume balance, use it as a support going higher. How far it can reach? Maximum to this rejection block. Here is the fair value gap as well, as you can see from the daily chart. This is a fair value gap from this area. Let me mark it as a daily gap. This is all my expectation. Okay, I don't know it is going to happen or not. I didn't do any weekly analysis this week. I had some problem actually. I am totally broken by mentally, so I was not active on the market or anywhere. By the way, this is that daily that bearish gap, this rejection block, and the 50% of that daily bearish gap are around the same level. Consequent encroachment rejection, low rejection. That is the best case of scenario. If it reject from that low of that daily gap, that is the best case of scenario. And then until this area, maximum the 30%. If you go to your weekly chart and weekly candle, mark the 30% as well if you want. I will mark it if I see that market is actually falling. So I'm not bullish yet. All I'm seeing that before 9:30 market was bullish, and it has taken that high, previous day high, previous week high, everything has been taken over here. Can it fall for this area? That is my intention to see. From the hourly chart, as you can see here, this low and that low, they are the relatively equal lows. So I'm going to mark that sell side liquidity here, which is around this area is the sell side liquidity. This low and that low, they are relatively equal lows. So I have the sell side liquidity. If I take a closer look, this high and that high, which has been taken as a shallow run. So it is also an obvious liquidity before falling for this sell side liquidity. Yeah, obviously it can take that obvious liquidity over here, which is around this area with the rejection block. So wick can go little higher to take that obvious liquidity. I'll just mark a line over there as well. Just marking this high because this is the obvious liquidity high. So here it can go little higher, take that obvious liquidity, then can come for that sell side liquidity. I'm not interested to see that. I would love to see it will reverse from this area and it will go for that sell side liquidity, and finally it will reach to this line, which is also situated with this bullish gap by CPI. So this is that CPI bullish gap. I want to see that it will work with this CPI gap. If and only if it is consolidating rest of the time, that means until maybe 3.5 hours more, 3.5 hours. If it doesn't do the consolidation, if there is a run, I will expect that bear run toward that sell side liquidity here. Otherwise, if it keep going higher, maybe it will take that buy side liquidity. I'm not interested to participate in that buy run. First of all, it has already came here too far from the beginning. The run has begun from there. This is that midnight open, market went below that midnight open, went higher. So the opportunity to take the buy was there, which was outside of the session. Not interested to trade around this area. Market did the run before the session. I'll let this go toward that buy side liquidity without. First of all, I'm not interested to trade. But if I were trading here, I wouldn't go for the buy. It will keep going higher, take that buy side liquidity. I'll let him to take that buy side liquidity without touching this market. If I wanted to trade here, I would love to look for a selling opportunity. When it will provide me the selling opportunity, I'll go for that selling opportunity. Otherwise, not interested, or I can't just place and trade over here. From 15-minute chart, this high and that high, they are the relatively equal highs from Friday. Market came until this area. If you mark the 50% of that week, I tweeted just a second. I tweeted and also talked about the fall around the last hour in the Friday, because I was seeing that market has been rejected from that 50% of that week. If you go to your 1-minute chart, and there is a 1 minute week, so far I remember, I don't exactly remember, but if you can check it from your 1-minute chart, there is a 1-minute week, and market perfectly respected that 1-minute week 50%. If I'm not wrong, okay, you guys can check it. It has been respected that 50% of that week as well. So I was looking for the bear move, and finally market reached until this area, which is with this volume. I mean here that volume balance was my final destination, or I was thinking that market will reach here by Friday, but it didn't do that. Come until this area, closed over here. Sunday open there, went little higher, perfectly came to this area. So if you have watched my tweet, I tweeted that area and I told that keep an eye over here, because that was the area I was thinking that market will reach over here. So it didn't reach over here by Friday. Sunday open, went little higher, fall dramatically. The exact area I was expecting came around this area. This whole consolidation, then finally come here, made that relatively equal lows around this area, going higher. Came to this daily bearish gap from the daily chart. If you look on your left here, there is a hourly gap. Let me actually go to one more time to the hourly gap. Hourly gap here. So okay, here. That was the hourly gap. I told that I don't want to mark this gap as my hourly last gap, but if market came here, maybe I'll start to think about that gap as my hourly last gap. So this is my hourly last gap. So far I want to see that this hourly last gap will hold the price and send it lower. So though it is like little bull so far above this hourly last gap, honestly there will be a weak market will come back again, close inside this hourly gap. If it doesn't do that, then maybe it will go for that buy side liquidity. As I told, I'm not just interested to look for that buy side liquidity. If I want to trade here to take a buy, then all I have to do is from the 1 minute chart, I need some kind of manipulation first, then higher market structure shift that will tell me that this market is going for that buy side liquidity. So every kind of buy I would love to take, I need manipulation, then the market structure shift or fair value gap, everything that should be happen above the hourly last gap constant encroachment around this area. Then and only then I can start to think about the buy. If this market will keep going higher like this way, I will just let this go. I am not interested to touch this market without any confusion. Just let him go to take the buy side liquidity, and then it will keep going higher. I'll let him go. I have nothing to do over here. All I am interested to see, can market come here and take all of this sell side liquidity, this low and that low, which is the relatively equal low sell side liquidity. Can market take those sell side liquidity or not? That is my interest to see. Midnight open and 8:30 open are around the same level. I think there was a news or not. Was there a news around 8:30? No, there was no news around 8:30. I don't know why that was so much volatile around this area. Maybe because of the President Trump speaking or something like that. I don't know. Whatever it is, but there was a huge week of volatility, and as you can see, the volatility was something like 100 handle. Just 1 minute candle has provided like 111 handles. So huge volatility actually. So after that volatility, market is going higher. So far, as I told, I am only interested to look for sell. My selling will be valid if it can provide any kind of perfect opportunity to look for the sell. Not going to hold my trade for this sell side liquidity. Instead of that, I'll try to find some kind of last fair value gap or the relatively equal lows over here. That will be more, logical to me. All of these things are my opinion. I'm not saying that it is going to happen. Maybe this market will keep going higher. Maybe it will not stop anywhere. Instead of that, it will keep going higher. But if I was interested to trade, I would love to look for the sell, not interested to look for the buy, because the market is already too far from here to here. It's too far. So not interested to think about the buy. If there is no entry opportunity, it will keep going higher. I'll just let this go. So this is all from the pre-market analysis. If you are interested to trade, you're welcome to go for that. I'm just not interested. So here, going to remove this weak 50%, which is from 15-minute chart. We'll have to look for the 930, 930, 930 here. I guess this is the first presented gap. Just want to see that can it provide me 25 handle or not. Just want to see that. Okay, so it is actually, no, it's not the first presented gap. Is it? No, it's not also the first presented gap. So far I didn't find any first presented gap after 930. I think I have to wait until it provide me some kind of first presented gap or something. Yeah, so far it didn't provide me the first presented gap, so I have to wait for the first presented gap to think about any kind of opportunity to go for the trade. Obviously that's gonna be the paper trade, not the real trade, because real trade today is like gambling. I'm not interested to gamble over here. You can see like there is no market. Okay, so if you go to your regular trading hour, no real, Wall Street people are not trading. Okay, they are not seeing that this market is open from the regular trading. So all we are seeing here from the electronic trading hour, which is like we are the retail trader who are the trading over here. No big money is going to participate in this price action. Just no big money is there over there. So we all are here. Okay? So we are going to take each other's money. I'm going to take your money, you are going to take my money. Something like that. No big money is going to participate in here. If you have any kind of question, you can tell me now. From the hourly chart, I will keep looking for this candle, how it is going to close around. I want to see it is going to close inside this gap. So that is all I would love to see. So I guess it has made the first presented gap. No, not yet. I would love to reply one more time. Today is not a good day to trade. If any of you are interested to trade today, make sure that you are trading by your own risk. It's not a good day to trade. So it is the best to observe the market, as we are the chart addicted. We can't stay without the chart. So it's better to open the chart and just read the price, do some paper trade, and try to do something with the paper money, not the real money, not the funded account. Let me check how much is this gap. Okay, so this is the first presented gap. So for it has made the first presented gap here, according to me. So please don't get confused. This is the first presented gap according to me because it has provided me six handle. Okay, I need a gap at least for five handle, at least for five handle. So I will observe it. If it come here, can it provide me 25 handle? So I would love to observe it. So here, there, stop loss is going to below the candle which has made this first presented gap, and would love to see can it provide me 25 handle. This is just for observation, not. And for first presented gap, as I told, I don't need to think about the bias. I don't need to think about the news. I don't need to think about anything. All I need to see, can it provide me 25 handle? That's all I need to see. Before 25 handle, I would love to also see that can it provide me 20 handle as well, because sometimes it provide me 20 handle and then it reverse. So this is gonna be the 20 handle. At least 20 handle can it provide me, and then I will see can it go until the 25 handle. So it has provided 20 handle so far. I wish that it will provide 25 handle as well. 20 handle has been provided. Let's see if it can provide 25 handle or not. Okay. It's too simple, as I told, I don't need to think about anything over here. I mean, what is my bias, where market will go? Just nothing. I'll go for every day. I'll come. I'll try to take the entry from the first presented gap, which should be at least five handle. Over here, you can see it is 45. 45, 51. So near about six handle. So this gap is valid for me as a first presented gap. Stop loss will be at least below the candle which has made this first presented gap. We'll try to go for uh, that area. Can it provide me 25 and alone? That's all I would love to see. Simple logic and outcome. So far in January, we have got like 9 winning days and maybe 4 losing days, if I'm not wrong. 4 losing days and nine winning days. According to the way I showed you. Sometimes what happened, it's like stop loss is something like here, because the candle has made the first presented gap. Stop loss is 48 handle, target is 25 handle. Yeah, it happens sometimes the way I should put the stop loss, but it has worked like that way. So that is all. Now I want to see that this market will fall because this candle from the hourly chart is going to close within 15 minutes. So this 15 minutes should market come here inside this hourly last gap. I want to see that it doesn't mean that it has to happen, but if it happens, that is the best case of scenario from the hourly chart. This is the high, so until this high is valid, over here highest up close body close candle, which you can use as an order block, which is an order block around this area. So obviously it is possible that market will respect the min threshold of that order block. It is also possible, I don't know, I mean, we'll just see. Okay, if it keep going higher, maybe I have to wait for some specific thing. Not interested to go for the buy, no way. And this entry is different. First presented gap entry, as I told, I don't need to think about the bias. No gap, nothing. It has made the first presented gap. Tap to this gap, I'll go for that trade. Look for that 25 handle if my stop loss is going to support me. For example, if you see over here, it's 20 handle, so it is okay. Until the 20 handle, I'm okay. So I will put it over there. If I get that profit, cool. Until 20 handle, I'll try to take a partial, or maybe after reaching to this 20 handle, I'll put my stop loss to the break even and will try to hold it until 25. This should be very specific. 25 handle. Sometimes you'll see that it has provided 50 handle. I don't care about that. All I care, can it provide me 25 handle? That's all I care. As I told, I'm just only interested to think about the sell now. No buy, I'm interested to think. Just sell. Can it provide me any selling opportunity? I would love to repeat one more time. If you are interested to trade your real money, please make sure that you have closed the live streaming and you have done your own trading. Then you can join us if you want. But for me, no trading is valid for today, not even this week. But yeah, maximum you can go for maximum 1 or 2 trades this week. It's okay. And when I'm looking for sell, it doesn't mean that you have to look for sell as well, because you can see it's a big bullish market. So you can think that, okay, I will go for the buy. It's up to you. If you are looking for buy, you are welcome to go for that. I am not interested to look for the buy, but you can obviously go for the buy. So my understanding is not something like I'm looking for sell, that means market is going to fall. It doesn't like that way. But I want to think about selling the way market is reacting over here. So I would love to think about selling. It doesn't mean you have to think about selling as well. You can simply go for the buy and you are welcome for that. So far it is reacting with this order block. So if you look over here, market structure shift, fair value gap. This is the lowest down close body close candle which has traded this fair value gap. This is that order block. It was respecting that order block. Can it go higher from this order block, or is it going to break that order block and going to work as a general breaker block? High, low, higher, high. General breaker block. I'm not interested to take entry depending on that general or breaker block. But how it is going to trade, I would love to look for that. Hey Pascal, if you see over here, I write it down. First presented fair value gap according to me. Okay, so I clearly write it down. It is according to me. If you would love to go for the ICT, I think it's your first presented gap according to ICT. You're welcome to go for that. But I mark the first presented gap depending on some specific thing, and that is at least 5 handle. That gap should be at least 5 handle. So this gap is 6 handle. This is the first gap which I have got for 6 handle, which is at least more than 5 handle. So that is why I would love to use this gap as my first presented gap. And that's why I also written it down, first presented gap according to me. Yeah, obviously this gap has worked perfectly over here as well. Yeah, if you would love to go for that one, you are welcome. I mean, I have no problem with that. I would love to mark the 50% of that order block. Again, I'm not thinking that this order block is going to hold the market and send it higher. I'm not thinking that. All I'm thinking that it is going to broke and market is going to fall. That is I'm thinking. It doesn't mean that that is going to happen. So I would love to see, can it hold the market or not. So it failed to hold the market, that is kind of confidence for me to think about the sell. Okay, so either it has to close below this low of that order block. I mean, we'll see. Okay, so far it came until this area, so I don't need to think about that order block anymore. I will not frame any kind of setup over here, nothing. All I told you how to go for, I mean what I'm looking for. I'm looking for sell, and if market provide any selling opportunity, I'll go for that sell. For example, obviously for paper money, not real money today, at least for today. So I'm not going to frame any setup. Instead of that, after effect, I will show that. If it provide me any kind of selling opportunity, after effect, I'll show it. But when I'll show it, you will see that it is absolutely like you knew it that that is going to fall. That's gonna be the fall. This is the theme I am expecting that the whole day market will do, like big wick, small body. Almost every time it will make this type of long wick and small body. That is the expectation for today, the whole day. I'm going to remove this one. The whole day I'm also going to think like that way, long wick, small body. So many manipulations, something like that. It is going to happen like today. Okay. There is no way I can look for any trade without 15-minute chart. At least I can't do that. Obviously there could be some way, but I don't know how to do it. Not even 15-minute chart is enough. In my opinion, you need daily chart as well. So daily 15-minute and 1 minute, that is the best combination. In my opinion, you need higher time frame. Without higher time frame, there is no trade. This is a swing low. So when this candle appeared here, this low is a swing low. So keep that in your mind. This is a swing low, which has traded this fair value gap. So this swing low is also valid for shifting market structure. This is the order block. This is the propulsion block. Because this market didn't close below the 50% of that order block. So if I was thinking about buy, then this could work as a propulsion block. Yeah, it has violated that low, which did the damage, but still it didn't close below the 50% of that order block. So it is also valid as a propulsion block. If this candle could close here somewhere, okay, this candle, then I wouldn't look for this one as an order block. This could be the order block. If it could close below this candle, then this could be the order block. Again, I'm not thinking about buy, so I'm not seeing this one as an order block or propulsion block. I'm going to think that these all are going to be violated. But if my bias was bullish, for example, my bias was bullish, so I would think that this is the order block, this is the propulsion block. When this market, this candle closed above this propulsion block, that candle came to this propulsion block, I would be in the market here. I would go for the buy. Stop loss would be below the propulsion block, or maybe at least cover the 50% of that wick, and whatever is my target, I'll go for that area. But as my bias is not bullish, I'm not thinking that they are going to be respected. Instead, I would love to see this low will work as a swing low for shifting market structure. Okay, so that is my thinking. It rested the 938, 939 order block, right? 938, 939, 38, 39. This is the real, so far this is the order block so far. Okay, this is the order block. Then all of these are actually respecting this order block. Now I want here, I'm watching this fair value gap. What is order block? Order block is some kind of block that is going to stop the market and send the market higher. So most of the time you will expect some kind of immediate reaction from the order block. So for example, here when market create this two candle and then this candle closed above this candle. You are seeing this fair value gap. The problem is, do I have any market structure shift over there? I don't have any kind of market structure shift. But this is the candles, they have been traded that gap. So it has already done its job over there. This gap has been traded by this down close candle. So when market came until this area, it started to fall. That means it is going to fall for this sell side liquidity, maybe for this imbalance, for any of this. But this gap stop the market here, then send it higher again. That means this is now a block here. When I have the block, they have respected that block, that reaction, perfect. Only problem, I would love to look for this after the market structure shift. So market structure shift is something that is going to tell you after the liquidity taken, market structure shift, boom, market is going higher, something like that. As I don't have the market structure shift, I'm not seeing this as an order block. So after this, when I got this market structure shift, it should work as an order block and hold the market, send it higher. If you have something or your higher time frame is telling you this market will keep going higher, then this should work as an order block, because this market structure shift told me that I'm not interested to fall. I would love to go higher. Look at the speed over here. So I would love to keep going higher, not interested to fall. But here market is just bullish. This is just a down close candle here. So just down close candle went higher. There is no market structure shift. This is just a bullish run. Then market retrace, bullish run. So I'm just not interested to think about them, that this market is going to respect those down close candle as an order block. Okay. Order block is something that should respect immediately. Observe this gap. Love to change the color. Okay. Just change the color. There is a small gap, not going to mark, but think about there is a gap as well. So keep that in your mind as well. There is a gap, a small gap. I don't want to see that it will come back again to this gap. Here, mark this gap as well. This gap is an unfinished business. Here, two type of things is important. First, this last gap. Second, this entry gap. So until this entry gap, there can be some kind of speed. Then it can like start to do some kind of Mickey Mouse move until this gap, and then finally in that Mickey Mouse move, it can tap to this last gap before again going higher. So it's not a good thing. I wanted to see that this candle is going to close inside that last parabolic gap from the hourly chart, but it didn't close it. As you can see, if you go to hourly chart, this has closed above this hourly gap. So it was not a good thing, okay, to be honest. For order block is some kind of block, that is, you are going to believe that block is going to stop the market and send it some specific area. So order block can be different type of, for example, after liquidity taken, there is no fair value gap, no worries. The candle has taken the liquidity, that is also an order block. The lowest down close candle, that is also an order block. Okay, again, after taking the liquidity, there is a fair value gap. So market came back again to this fair value gap. So this fair value gap is now working as an order block. The candle, opposite candle, has traded that gap. It is also working as an order block. So this is also an order block. Then this candle, this is also an order block. Why? Because this is a bullish market. Every kind of opposite candle is going to support the market. This is also an order block. So in this type of situation, I called them middle order block, that type of situation. For example, here, I told you that keep this in your mind, this is a swing low which is valid for shifting market structure. Look at this. After market structure shift, this is that the up close candle. That means market is bullish, right? This is a bullish market. Just think about the theme over here. This is a bullish market. Then market started to fall, right? It started to fall. Make a gap. After that fall, it started to go higher again. To keep that bullish trend, it started to go higher again. When it started to go higher, this is a gap. This gap told that no, you don't need to go higher. You should keep falling. So after that two candle, there is another down close candle which has closed below these two up close candle. What does it mean? That means these up close body close candles are now a block. That means this market should not break that block. It doesn't have that, it should not have that power to break that block. It doesn't need to come back again to this fair value gap because I have this block here. I don't need to think about this fair value gap anymore. If I'm thinking that this market will keep falling, if your bias is bearish, I don't need to think that this market will keep falling. It will keep going higher, went through this gap because now I have the block here. So open of that consecutive, this is the consecutive block, right? The open of that consecutive block is the most sensitive one for the consecutive block. If it would love to go little higher, the highest up close body close candle are the much more sensitive, the highest one. It is the most sensitive one. For the mean threshold, for this consecutive block, maybe there is two more up close candle and this candle has closed all below all of those candles. Then this is kind of candle which is going to confirm that now I'm shifted. I have been shifted. I'm not going higher again. And I have this block here. When it trade this block, it should immediately react from there. Immediately, okay? So if you think that this is going to work as an order block, it should respect that block immediately. If it doesn't respect immediately, that means this block are not strong enough. Market can go back again some unfinished business, which is here, unfilled fair value gap here. So it can reach until this area, or maybe it will switch it, it will keep going higher. I don't know. So whenever it will reach to this, for fair value gap, it can spend long time to trade that fair value gap. Long time, no problem. Long time. Order block should be reacted immediately. From there to there. As I told, I don't need to frame the setup. Anybody can tell me if I were looking for sell, was there any selling opportunity or not? Now keep looking at that low and that low. They are the relatively equal lows, so don't think that it has shifted the market already. I mean, it has done its job. So it has made some sell side liquidity over here around this area. Oh, by the way, I forgot to add one more thing. These order blocks can hold the market, or market can do some kind of Mickey Mouse move over here if and only if market is very near to the macro time. That means maybe it is around, it has traded this order block around 948. Okay, so this candle is actually 948, but it's not 948, it's 1001. But think, this is that 948 candle. So around the macro time, market can do some Mickey Mouse move around the order block. Why? Because I need the speed around the time of the top of the hour, so which is kind of like 10 or something like that. Okay, so until that area, I need the speed that area. So I will spend some time over there. But if it is macro time, for example, this is that 10 candle, right? I need immediate fall. It should immediately fall. So if you look on this market, as I told, if I'm interested to look for the trade, this is a swing low which is valid for shifting market structure. I got the market structure shift. This is the first presented gap after 930. This candle came close below this first presented gap. See this first presented gap below that gap. This is a fair value gap. I would love to take and sell around this area, around here. A stop loss should be there, but I would love to cover at least the breakaway gap. So over here, which should work as a breakaway gap, at least over there. target will be this fair value gap, entry gap, at least in this entry gap. In the meantime, try to take an partial around 15 to 25 anywhere over there, as you don't have any kind of relatively equal lows over there. Now it has made that relatively equal lows, but previously you didn't have any kind of relatively equal lows. So your first opportunity to take the partial here, which is 47 handle. I'm not interested to hold my trade without any kind of partial for 47 handle. I would love to go for anywhere to take the partial around 15 to 25 handle. So here, if you look that hourly gap 50%, which is around 20 handle, it's a better area to take a partial around this 20 handle. And after taking that partial, maybe you'll put your stop loss to the break even, or maybe just one tick above that highest up close body close candle, which has traded this gap. Just one tick above that candle, which is your order block. One tick above that gap, okay? And target here around this area. This candle came back again to trade the open of the most sensitive order block area. This is the most sensitive order block area. When I have seen this candle over here, I was not thinking that this market is going higher. Why? Market came around this area, made another sell side liquidity, this low and that low. They are the relatively equal lows. So I am going to believe that this, even if this market would love to go higher, it is going to take that sell side liquidity before going higher. I would love to think like that way. I always prefer to take partial 15 to 25 handle randomly if I don't have anything. If I like a rejection block or maybe kind of entry fair value gap, last fair value gap, relatively equal lows, I don't have anything, no worries. I'll take an partial between 15 to 25 handle anywhere. So if you would love to take the 25 handle partial as well, which is over here, you will get your partial. As you can see here, you will get your partial over there. See this fair value gap over here, that bullish gap, this bullish gap, this is a trap gap. This is your trap gap. Why is that your trap gap? After making that liquidity, market make a bullish gap. So this is a bullish market. See, this is an extremely bullish market. Then market fall little bit, made the liquidity, didn't take the liquidity, made the liquidity, and then make a bullish gap over here. So a lot of people will see this a buying opportunity. So they will take the buy over here. And what market will do? Market will go a little higher, then it will go through this gap and fall for that sell side liquidity. That is why it is called, I called it as a trap gap. When this gap, this candle will fail to take that high and it will close below this gap again. I don't want to see that. This candle will close above the 50% of that gap again. So I'm seeing like this way. This is why I called it trap gap. Come here. I don't want to see body close above the 50% of that gap before taking that sell side liquidity. When it will close below this gap again. No, it won't be my trap gap if I saw that this market has taken the liquidity. So there has been liquidity taken. Market maybe trade any entry gap or last gap. Then it is going higher. No, it is not trap gap then. So you have to think how the market stopped its run. Did it take the liquidity or did it make the liquidity? No, it has made the liquidity. What is this? Support zone. People are saying that this is a support. So whoever was buying there, for example, I'm a retail trader. So I missed that entry. So what I'm seeing now market is respecting this area, right? This area is respecting. So this is a buying opportunity. Take the buy, take the buy, take the buy, take the buy. And when I took the buy, market has given me that run. Everyone will start to chase this price. And what market will do? Market will take this sell side liquidity. After taking the liquidity, what is the resting? Where is your resting place? Remember, after taking the liquidity, market just can't reverse. It's not possible. Yeah, what else can happen? Maybe there is a 15-minute gap. Maybe there is an hourly gap. So it will respect that hourly gap. It is also possible. But just think there is no gap from your higher time frame. Just this is a 1 minute time frame. Where is your resting place? Obviously, this is the logical level. At least it should reach until this gap. And then if this market is bearish, as I was thinking, it will keep falling. It will provide some kind of reaction over there. Any kind of reclaimed fair value gap it will make over there, then it will respect that reclaimed fair value gap, it will keep falling again. Okay. Look at this sell side liquidity. You are seeing this is sell side liquidity. I'm saying this is support zone. People, whoever took that buy, they are going to take buy again here. Added more over there. Why? Because it is now triple bottom. So it is going to respect. Every single time market is going little higher, they're adding over there more. Not today. Today is they are not here, but in normal days, okay, they add more over there. Why? Because this is respecting. See this line? It is respecting. This whole zone is a trap zone. Sorry, let me remove this one and let me. No, it should not be like this way. It should be this way. Okay. So they're saying this is support zone now. See, take buy, take buy, take buy, take buy. It closed there. It should not close at above the 50% of that gap now. This is now the trap gap for me. That means if I want to, please don't push the button. It's my request. This is just for learning. When it will come to this gap, I want to take a buy over there. Would love to put my stop loss maybe here somewhere. As it is very small, so I'll put it like maybe here. I'm going to target here again. If it can reach to this gap again. It doesn't need to reach over here, but if it reaches over here, not even a single body should close above the 50% of that gap. The most important part is if it left that sell side liquidity, as it has taken that sell side liquidity, so I'm not interested to take the entry over here. But if it failed to take that liquidity, that could be my entry here. This could be my entry. Yeah, body first it can go higher, okay? It can go higher, but body should not close above the 50% of that trap gap. This gap 50% should not be broken by the body. Wick can go little higher. It's okay. Wick did the damage. What are you seeing here around this area? See this gap? I want to use this gap as a reclaimed gap. This gap. Another entry opportunity from this gap. When the market will close below this gap, I want to use this gap as a reclaimed gap. For the reclaimed gap, I have to cover the order block. Wherever it is going to make the, if it can close below this candle, this is going to be the order block. So another entry opportunity for me when market will close below this gap. Another entry opportunity stop loss is gonna be above the order block, because this in reclaimed gap can be violated, but that order block should be respected. Look at over here how the bodies are respecting the 50% of that trap gap. Every time, no sir, not every time, but most of the time this gap 50% should be respected. Most of the time. Please don't copy my trade. Please don't take entries. We are just reading the price. Okay, the body didn't close below the reclaimed gap. The body didn't close, so it's not valid as a reclaimed gap yet. It's not valid as a reclaimed gap yet. Think about those buyers who are seeing this as a triple bottom. Every single time it tapped to this area, market went higher. So they are seeing, they're believing this is a very strong zone. This zone can't be broken. It's a very strong zone. Now it's my reclaimed gap. That means if it can come back again to this gap, that is my entry point. Stop loss is going to cover that order block. Okay, that order block. if it come back again here. If it doesn't, it's okay. Trap gap, reclaimed gap. For trap gap, market should not close above the consequent crosswind. Reclaimed gap, it can be violated if there is an order block. It can be violated. The reclaimed gap can be violated. Trap gap should be respected, the 50% of that gap. This is just for your learning purpose, okay? Here, where the market came, this is your consecutive order block. Consecutive order block. This is the mean threshold of that consecutive order block. So it has been respected that order block, then come back again here, trade that mean threshold of that order block as well as the most sensitive line here, the opening of that highest up close body close candle, the most sensitive area. Respect that area, look at the reaction. Made the trap gap, trade that trap gap, falling. Where this is the most area where this is the resting place. So I have started to run from there. Now I took the food here. Okay, no problem. Now I need to take the rest. Where is my nearest resting place? This is my nearest resting place. This is the nearest resting place. So it didn't provide the reclaimed gap entry. So if I miss this trade, where is gonna be my next entry opportunity? If I missed this trade from this area, market structure shift here, fair value gap, trade that fair value gap, falling after taking the partial here anywhere. I don't know where you will take the partial, but you have to take some partial. Put the stop loss one tick above that order block, at least one tick above that order block. Reclaim trap fair value gap, another entry opportunity. Reclaimed gap, another entry opportunity, didn't provide me the entry over here. So if this candle could close below this gap, maybe that could be an entry opportunity as well, until some certain level. This is the certain level. Why is that? Because this is the entry gap. If you think that this market will keep falling, if you think like that way, okay, if your bias is still bearish, then if you find some kind of reaction, look at the reaction from this entry gap. So if it provide the reaction from this entry gap, the last gap which is over here, that should be violated with speed. Boom, something like boom, it will go through this last gap. Okay, you have to think like that. No respect from this last gap, because the entry gap has been provided you the reaction, so that should not provide the reaction anymore. If you think that this market will keep falling, as I was thinking that it will come here, that black bold line, I was thinking like that. Okay, if any of you are interested to trade, make sure that you have closed our session and you have done your trading by yourself, and then you can recheck or you can join us. Okay, I'm not interested to trade here in this market. I will just read the market the way I would love to read it. I'll just go for that. It can respect this entry gap thousands of the time. I mean, it will come here, drop here, went higher, drop here, went higher, drop here, went higher. This type of things can happen a lot of time. But after that, when it will come to this last gap, it should be like one candle, something like this type of candle that should go through this gap. If it do that, this is the last gap which I would love to use as an inverse gap for thinking that whatever the next liquidity, until that area I'll think that this is gonna send the market over there. I didn't mark the new week opening gap today. The reason is it was like 10 handle or 11 handle, something like that. It's very small, so I didn't mark it. If you're interested, please go and mark it. Okay. I didn't mark it because it's small. That's why. So I want to see if it started to fall, it will go through this gap with speed, this type of candle. Okay. After trading this order block, where was that? That order block. This is the propulsion block. Market trade that propulsion block. After trading the propulsion block, I need the unfilled gap. Here, this third candle has filled the gap. So I want to see this gap will work as an unfilled gap. So I'm going to remove them. No, I don't need them anymore. Okay. See this gap? I want to see it will be unfilled. If it filled that gap, then I will start to look for the breaker block. This gap, I want to see it will work as an unfilled. So I'm going to remove this entry gap as well, as it has reached the last gap. So I'm going to remove that unfilled gap. I don't want to see any kind of reaction over there. Like no reaction should be done from this last gap. One candle closed inside this gap, next candle went through this gap, acceptable. One candle closed there, maybe another candle go a little higher, third candle went through this last gap, acceptable. But not the reaction like this way. Remember, tap to this entry gap, perfectly reacted. No, I don't want to see that from that last gap now. If this market is extremely bearish, which I'm thinking that actually market is going to fall. It didn't tap to this last gap, still it is respecting this entry gap. Though I removed the entry gap from my chart, it didn't tap the last gap yet. So I'm not seeing this is the last gap reaction. This is still the entry gap reaction. It's okay. As I told, if I would love to trade, I would love to catch the run from the beginning. This is the beginning where I would love to catch the run. So this market, maybe it doesn't want to fall. Instead, it would love to keep going higher. Buy, okay? If I would love to take a buy, I want to try to take and buy around this area, around here. Not obviously not around this area. If I would love to take a buy around this area, that means I'm chasing the price. I don't want to chase the price. I want to go for the trade at the beginning of the run. How do I know that it is going to be the beginning of the run? The way I showed you at the beginning of this stream. Why I was thinking about the sell, why I was interested to frame the sell setup. This is how you should think about the price, and this is how you should read the market. This is how you should trade. If anyone understands cricket, I know this is gonna be rant a little bit, but let me tell you something. Okay, if you know the cricket, it's a game. I know that some of you don't know what is cricket. It's a game like baseball. I guess in America it called baseball. It's a game. In cricket, Sachin Tendulkar from India, he's I mean, in cricket world, he's the king of the cricket. Okay, I mean, he had like 100 century, and he's a legend in cricket game. Okay, he has played 700 games for India, 700 games, and he has like hundreds. So rest 600 game, he failed. Right, he didn't get 100 for the rest 600 games. Still, he is the legend. Actually, why I told that, for being a legend, he doesn't need to make 700 100 out of 700 game. He doesn't need to make it. Same thing in trading. You don't need to make all of your entries as a profitable trade. Even if there is a losing trade, you have to believe that it doesn't matter. Loss is the part of this game. Every game, loss is the part. If you ever think that I will never gonna be the loser, you will never will be the winner. Never ever. Always think like that. The most successful people are the most successful loser. You can't even show me one single person in this world who is successful without losing. Not even a single person except Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, obviously, except him. Nobody is the winner without losing anything. You have to lose for winning. Same in trading. Please make sure that you are trading according to the rules, you are trading according to your discipline, you are trading by accepting that I'm gonna take losing trade. You have to accept that. All the problem begins after disrespect the losing trade. If you disrespect losing trade, you will keep taking the losing trade. So it reached to this last gap, and respecting this 50% of that last gap, it is not good to me. If I'm thinking about the sell, I need like speed like this. I need speed like this through this gap. So the way it is respecting, it's not good to me. I still need the run toward that last gap. Now you can ask me why it is respecting this gap. Here is the theory come, which is time and price theory. Okay, the time and price theory come over here. Look at the time right now. It is 10:27. So we know that middle of the hour, that means 10:30, 9:30, 11:30. I'm not saying they are the macro, but I have seen that around that 30 market provides some kind of speed. So maybe this is the time distortion. What do I mean by that? It is spending little time over here. Why? Because it is waiting for some certain period of time to provide the run, this type of big run. So if it market would love to fall, then this can be the time distortion. That means it is waiting for 10:30 to provide the run. Okay. By the way, do you learn anything from here, this price action, the way we have started, even after that big run, the way we have outlined the sell, or we are thinking about the selling opportunity, where market can go, why market will go, and how it will go? Did you learn anything from here? If you learn anything, just let me know. Otherwise, like, mentally I'm little depressed today. Not today, actually last 3 days. But I thought that it's gonna be the best area to talk about the price action, as I don't have any rush to trade here. So let's go and talk about the price action, the way I think this price will work. Thank you. My accent, sorry, my accent is, yeah, Ketan, I know that you are doing fun accent. Yeah, I will work with my accent. No worries, I will work with my accent. I just need to, I need some time actually. I will work with my accent. Why depressed? Uh, should I tell that? Hey, Outlander, thanks for that, man. Yeah, I think I should call you. I mean, hey, Rakesh, thanks for that, man. Thank you, DuPont. So this is that 10:30 candle. I want to see some kind of speed now by 10:29, 10:30, 10:31. By these three candle, I want to look for some kind of speed over here. The best area is that this market will boom. It will fall and close below this last gap. That is the best case of scenario. But it can start to go higher again now. The reason is it is respecting the 50% of that last gap. Obviously, it can do that. I don't want to see that. I want to see that this market will fall and will go through this last gap. That is all I want to see. So 10:29, 10:30, 10:31. within this three candle. I want to see, look at this candle. What is this candle? 1031. See this 1031. I need this type of speed around the 30 of the hour, like little volatility. Maybe this market will go higher. Okay, maybe, I don't know, maybe it will go higher. So that area market fall, take all of this liquidity, now it will start to go higher. It is also possible. Or this candle will close there around this area, it will close, that means it will keep falling, but I need this speed. So always try to remember this type of time distortion can happen into two times. Okay, I mean in the session area, two times. First, top of the hour. Second, middle of the hour. Top of the hour means 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, something like that. And middle of the hour is 30, 7:30, 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, something like that. So before that area, this type of time distortion can happen. Next time distortion can happen when market has done its run. For example, it has done its run over here. Now it will go higher now. So what it will do a lot of time distortion over here. Though I don't want to see that, but it can do that type of time distortion after finishing the run. Yeah, Pudur. Yeah, I already talked about this actually. See, this President Trump speaks, and this is the WF annual meetings. The whole week is the annual meetings week. So this whole week is a low probable area. We have seen that this is a good price action. Ask yourself, if you are thinking about sell, then it is good price action for you. But after that run, if you are thinking that this will go higher, then it's gonna be the disaster for you. So I believe that when we are in a community and we keep talking about this price action, it's gonna be much more easier for us to trade. It's my belief. But simply alone, it's gonna be little difficult to trade. So the last fair cap is holding the market, which I don't want to see. If this market is bearish, I don't want to see this market is gonna hold. This gap is going to hold the price. I'd love to see that it will be broken. As it didn't broke it, I will wait until 11. So until 11, I don't want to see this is gonna be broken. Until 11, it will go higher. Maybe it will work here, then it will fall. Maybe this type of things is most good, I mean most important thing to happen. If it happens like that way, that means it is going to provide me another selling opportunity. If it stay here around this area until 11, that is another selling opportunity for me. For example, this keep falling, what I will do? Nothing. Here I have nothing to do. I can't take any trade because the trading opportunity was there. That was the first entry opportunity for me, then the order block entry or the propulsion block entry. These three entry. Perfect, done. No more entry opportunity over here. But yeah, if it can do like here, stay here until 11, that means it is going to provide me another selling opportunity. Where? Maybe this last gap, which is an unfinished business here, maybe until this last gap, or maybe this liquidity. So I have to wait over here to think about another selling opportunity. Manipulation, then the expansion. Without manipulation, no expansion is valid. I'm not interested to look for buy, brother. I'm only interested to look for sell. So if it started to go higher, I will do nothing because this is called chasing price. I'm not interested to chase the price over here. If I would love to look for the buy, my next buy will be happen above this area, around this area, at least above the first presented gap. So let me remove this. Above this first presented, when market will go above this first presented gap, then for this buy side liquidity, which is the obvious liquidity, I will start to look for the buy from this area, around this area. But from here, I'm not interested to look for any kind of buying opportunity. I would love to keep looking for selling opportunity until this sell side liquidity, and then this bold line, which is the TGIF from Friday unfinished business. So until this area, I will keep looking for sell. If you think about buy, please go for that. Even if it filled this unfilled gap, that is another opportunity for me to think about the breaker block. That is why I told that if market can stay around this area until 11, then I will get another selling opportunity. Obviously it can start to go higher and go for that buy side liquidity. Obviously it can do that. I'm just not interested to think about that buy. So if it started to go higher, I'll just leave them go, let them go. All I'm seeing here, market take that buy side liquidity, market take that sell side liquidity. Here, sell side liquidity has taken, buy side liquidity has taken. What market is going to do? It didn't make any sell side liquidity here. If this candle could close very near to that low, for example, it closed very near to that low. This candle came around this area. Remember this area, this low and that low. If it could do that, I would try to frame any selling opportunity around this area. As it didn't do that, I'm not interested to look for sell, any kind of sell over here. Buying is absolutely not valid for me. I don't have the courage to go for the buy from there. Buying is chasing price, because from here market is already around this area. So it can be retracement. I'm 100% agree with you, but I'm not interested to take the entry from that retracement according to the narrative, according to the TGIF, according to the zone, according to the weekly analysis or weekly bias. I'm only interested to think about sell, not buy. I knew that it can reach until that black line, which is the rejection block. Yeah, it didn't tap to this black line 100%. I'm not right over here, but it came very near. Just look at over there. Where did it came? 81, and this candle high is actually 80. Just for one handle, it missed that rejection block just for one handle, but it is very near to that rejection block. Just for one handle, I missed it. I showed you how far it can reach over here, maximum. If you are looking for buy, please go for that. I'm not saying that I'm right or market will follow my order. No, it's not like that. I'm just explaining my expectation. If it work with my expectation, I'll work with that. If it doesn't, I'll just let this go. Oh man. Life is too hard, man. Trading is too easy, but life is too hard. And I'm the most unlucky person in this world, I guess. I don't think so. I'm not going to quit the smoking. At least not now. I don't have the mentality to quit this. I mean, quit smoking right now. Later, I don't know, but not at least now. At least not for some days. At least. No, in higher time frame, I'm also bearish, brother. if this market close below this last parallel gap before 1050, okay, before 1050, that means I will miss another opportunity to look for sell. If it doesn't close below this last parallel gap before 1050, that means I will have another opportunity to look for sell. It doesn't mean you have to think about the selling as well. You can look for the buy if you want. I smoke from 2009, so it's been like 15 years, I guess, 15 or 16 years. Uh, Big mode. First of all, brother, I don't look at the no wick candle. I know pro trader path, and then the Lumi traders, they give priority to the no wick candle. I don't see them that much important. I don't give that much. I actually didn't notice them ever. Okay, so I really don't have any idea how to use them. So I will say like this way. I never noticed them. Okay, so I have no comment about the no wick candle. For example, here this is also a no wick candle. Now this market this market didn't do the manipulation here. Now it will come back again. This volume imbalance as well as this new wick no wick candle or not, I don't know, because I never noticed them and I don't know how to use them. So you have to do things uh, before using them. Okay, I really don't know how to say this, but I never noticed them. Okay, okay, so it fall here. That fall, if I wanted to catch that fall after or around 11:30, my bias was bearish. It is just falling without any kind of entry opportunity from there. If you take the entry over there and then hold your trade, that is the only opportunity to catch that run. Otherwise, here I don't see any opportunity to enter again in this market. My bias was bearish. It will fall. That was my belief, but I wanted to see this fall will happen around the 1050 macro, then I would be able to catch that fall. But as it didn't do that, not interested to trade this market again. Can you please explain my funded futures no activation fee rules? My funded futures no activation fee rules means if you can pass the challenge, you don't need to pay any kind of fees. They will provide you the funded account. So this is the no activation uh, fees rules. You have to buy the funded my funded futures account. If you are the first time users, then you will get 40% discount by using T2 Wizard. If you are an existing user, then you will get 20% discount by that T2 Wizard. And if you pay by bank account or the played account, then you will get extra 5% discount by using that T2 Wizard code. After getting that account, if you can pass it, you don't need to pay any kind of activation fees. That's all. If you still have some confusion, you can check our Discord. You will get the link to the pin comment, and I hope that you will get cleared all of your confusion over there. So that was that unfilled gap, worked as an unfilled gap, perfectly perfect. Would love to see it will work with this gap. So without working this gap, if it keep falling, that is not good. Without tapping to this gap, if it started to fall, it's not good. That means it doesn't want to fall so far. For this sell side liquidity, it doesn't want to fall over there. Any of this last gap or entry gap will hold the market, and it can stand higher again to fill this unfilled gap again if it doesn't trade that gap now. The best case of scenario, it will 100% fill this gap. That is the best case of scenario. So it has traded the 50%, it is also acceptable. But that would be the best if it could trade 100% of this gap. That would be the best. From 15 meter, this is the entry gap. This is the last gap from 15 meters. So for market has respecting this entry gap, so it can be a perfect place for reversing. Though I don't want to see that. Here there is a small buying opportunity around this area. Why is that? Because before the macro, market has finished its job. So if it can close above this gap, above that gap, there can be a small buying opportunity from here to until this buy side liquidity over here, which is can be until the 50% of that unfilled gap, 50% until that gap, if it can close above this parallel gap. And you have to just make sure that your stop loss covered that order block open, something like that. Okay, it's not a high opportunity or high vol, I mean, what to say, I mean, this high probability, as my bias is bearish, so I'm obviously not interested to look for buy. For example, my bias is bullish, so the market was telling me that this market will go higher. If that type of situation, I would love to take and buy here around this area when the market will close above this gap, if it can close above that gap. Because if market would love to keep falling, it should not close above this gap. It doesn't need to close above that gap. So if it can close above that gap, that means market is not interested to fall for this last gap yet. It will go higher first, finish, come here to make the breaker block, and then it will go higher. Now this body didn't close, so even if it go higher, I will miss that opportunity. I need to see first the body close above that gap, and then this entry could be the valid entry. As it didn't close here, it's not valid yet. Now it has closed above this gap. If it could tag to this gap, that could be a buying opportunity if and only if my bias is bullish. So as my bias is not bullish, I'll let this go. Even if it works, I don't care about that. But for example, my bias is bullish, that could be my entry opportunity if it come back again to this gap. then that could be my buying opportunity. Here is two type of entry opportunity. First entry opportunity is from there. So if I would love to take and buy here, the top of this last gap, which I wanted to see as an inverse gap, sorry, as a reclaimed gap, in that type of situation, I'll put my stop loss just below that gap, below that gap. Or if I would love to take the entry from this area, my stop loss will be here. So this is kind of two type of risk thing here. 16 handle risk. If I get that loss, I'll be accept with that loss. If I don't want to accept this loss, then I have to wait until the price come back again here to take the re-entry until the 50% of that unfilled gap, until there. So this is two type of entry opportunity if your bias is bullish. As my bias is not bullish, so I will not take that entry. But my bias is bullish, I'll go for this trade. Why is that? Again, time. Before the macro, I wanted to see that this market will stay here. So before the macro, market didn't stay here. Instead of that, it has provided the sell run. It has taken this liquidity, came until this area, took all of this liquidity. This is the last gap over here. That is the last gap. More importantly, it has traded this entry gap from 50-minute chart. So I am expecting some kind of reaction. So remember this reaction from the entry gap here. Tap to this entry gap, give me some reaction. So I would love to look for some kind of reaction from this area as well. Reaction from this entry gap from 50-minute chart. And in between, I will take a partial maybe to this rejection block or maybe to the 50% of that week. As I don't have anything else except that week 50%. So until that week 50%, which is going to be like 12 handles, something like that, that could be the partial. And target will be the 50% of that unfilled gap. Aditya, in mini, it has closed above that. Oh, okay. So if it has closed above that, then obviously that could be the entry. I mean, in micro, it didn't close, so I talked about the micro. So if you see that it has closed out the gap, I'm just talking about the rules. So in mini as well, I mean, sorry, in micro as well, it came back again to tap to this gap by that specific candle. So either way, it is like good, both of the way. So my both this entry and that entry, both of them will be filled over here. This entry is a little risky here, that top entry, because I'm not able to close, I mean, what to say, I mean, the cover the order block open at least. I'm not able to cover it. So this entry is little risky, but this one should be safe. The entry from the top of this area, which is over here, around in this area, it should be safe. Before reaching 50% is randomly I put, but you have to make sure that there is some kind of partial. In my opinion, that 50% could be the best area to take the partial. So from here to here, it's 18 handle, something like that. If my bias is bullish, then I'll go for this. As my bias is not bullish, I'm not interested to look for that buy. Keep that in your mind. So in the same market, if I want to look for buy and sell, I have to be very careful about that. I have to be very careful about that. As my bias is bearish, I'm not interested to look for buy here. I'm just asking you to understand the theme over here. If your bias is bullish and you are thinking that now this market will go higher, then this could be your entry opportunity around this area. The way it has started to fall because of the time was the main factor over here. Market didn't work here in the time time being, that means before the macro, it has provided you the run before the macro. So around the macro, it has provided you another run around the macro. So when market has done its job before the macro, so it should provide you the run to the opposite way around the macro, which is 1050 to 1110 macro. Okay, so look at this run. It came exactly here, then started to go higher, closed above this gap. If it doesn't close above this gap, that means it will provide you the run toward your last fair value gap around the macro. As it didn't do that, instead of that, it has closed above this gap. That means it is going for that unfilled gap to fill 100% to make the breaker block. That 50% is gonna be your partial, and after taking the partial, maybe you will put your stop loss little above anywhere you want to do. In my opinion, it's not a good idea to put it to the break even, maybe below that candle, down close candle or something like that. I don't know where it will. You didn't understand what I mean by that? My bias is bearish. Okay, I'm thinking that this market will keep falling for this area. It will keep falling. Okay, that is my thinking. When market came here to this last fair value gap around this area, it started to respect that last fair value gap. It is respecting. Perfect. So I want to see that it will stay above here, above this last fair value gap before 1050. So around 1050 until 1050, it will be here. What happened? This market fall before 1050. Okay, it fall dramatically, came here, took that liquidity, made the obvious liquidity here. So now you have the sell side liquidity around this area. So still my bias is bearish. I will look for any kind of selling opportunity. If it can provide me any kind of selling opportunity, I'll go for that selling opportunity, which is here around this area. So when market before 1050, it provided me some run toward my direction, and then around 50 or around the macro time, it went higher, should respect the fair value gap, didn't respect that fair value gap, perfectly keep going higher. What does it mean? That means around 50 or the macro, it will keep going higher for finish some unfinished business, which is over here, unfilled gap. So it will go toward that area around the macro time, fill that unfilled gap, make the breaker block here for that sell side liquidity after the macro. Is that clear? It fall, take that low, which is the liquidity, take that liquidity. Now it should expand higher by the next candle, next or maybe the within 1 or 2 candle, it should expand higher. So around 11 or 1101 candle should give me some kind of run toward that gap. In the meantime, that week 50% is important, not that much important, but little important, though it has traded that gap, small gap over here, but it is still important. Okay, and it can reverse from there. It is not very abnormal or something, but I want to see it will come here to this unfilled gap to fill it 100% here. That is why I told that at least take the partial here, the 50% of that week, as I don't have anything else. So at least take the partial over here and then put your stop loss maybe here somewhere, wherever you feel good to put your stop loss. Not at the break even. The reason is it can come back again to trade that area before the macro. That is why it's not a good idea to put the stop loss at the break even before the macro. The macro run can be like little volatile. Maybe below this 50% of that inverse gap, it is also acceptable to put it, but not exactly to the break even. Here I'm expecting it will be filled 100%. That unfilled gap will be filled 100%, but I would love to hold it until the 50% there. The run, look at the candle 1101, 11 candle 1101. So around 11. Okay, I'm interested to think about that run toward that area. What do you understand the logic over here? Why I was thinking like it will reach until this area, or I am feeling like it will fill 100%. If it do that, I will get another opportunity to think about the sell. If it fill it 100%, okay, I'll get another opportunity to think about the sell from the breaker block. If it doesn't do that, then I have to think about the 22 YT model for this sell side liquidity, which is over here, which is the obvious liquidity, sell side liquidity. Obviously you have to have an idea why you are expecting that reaction. That reaction I was expecting from that that entry gap from 15-minute chart, from that 15-minute chart entry gap reaction. Can I take a buy over here? I'm not interested to take a buy here. I will be looking for buy if and only if market can close above this first presented gap. Then maybe I'll start to think about the buy. Here, all I'm seeing that can market fill that unfilled fair value gap 100% and then make the breaker block. High, sorry, not high, my mistake. Low, sorry, high, low, higher high. So it is going higher, right? It is going higher. So think like that way. Market is going higher, make a high, then a retracement, then take that high, low, higher high. Market closed below this lowest down close body close candle. This is gonna be my breaker block, most probable area to look for the sell. Tap to this breaker block. I'll try to take an entry around here for the sell side liquidity, which is over here. After taking that liquidity, last parallel gap until this last parallel gap, until this area. I'll think like that way. So it's not an buying opportunity for me, but obviously if you think this is an buying opportunity, maybe from this parallel gap you want to take the buy, please go for that. Simple sense, the market is going to the open 4-hour candle. It can be, brother. That's why I told you. If you are interested to look for the buy, please go for that. I'm just not interested to look for the buy. I will frame a selling opportunity now, but the best opportunity is to happen if it can fill 100% that unfilled gap. That's gonna be the best opportunity to look for the sell. Otherwise, I have to think about 22 YT model or maybe some kind of inverse gap. So far, I didn't see any inverse gap over here, so I really don't know which inverse gap I can use over here. Yeah, no inverse gap. At least I can't see any inverse gap, clear inverse gap. So yeah, I have to wait for maybe 22 IT model, maybe. Inchi, the question you have asked, it's irrelative. I mean, whatever you are asking about the macro is every 10 minute to the top. Sorry, every 20 minute to the top of the hour. That means 9:50, 10:10 is a macro. 10:50, 11:10 is a macro. There is no macro called like from 00 to 8:30. So every top of the hour is the macro. 9:50, 10:10, 10:50, 11:10, 11:50, 12:10, 12:50, 1:10. They are the macro. This 20 minute is the macro. Again, brother, if any of you are interested to look for the buy, maybe from this parallel gap, you will start to look for the buy. Please go for that. Okay, I'm just not interested to look for the buy. I will think about the buy if and only if market can close above this area. Then I will start to look for the buy. Not going to take the buy over there. I will wait for the setup over there. If it can close above here, until then I'm not interested to think about the buy. I will keep looking for a selling opportunity. It doesn't mean you are doing the same thing. Okay, so the one of my brother just told me it is going for the 4-hour open. I don't know where is it. Okay, so this is the 4-hour open, I guess. So let me mark a line over there and let me make it black and this is, so which is over here. Maybe it will go for that line, maybe, I don't know. If you're thinking a buying opportunity until this 4-hour open, please go for that. I am not interested to see it will reach around this area. But if it a bullish setup for you, go for that. I really appreciate that, man. As I don't use the 4 hour chart, so I really don't know how to use that 4 hour candle open. I don't know that, so I can't. I should not comment over there. By the way, where we are expecting the bad price action, we have found the good price action. By the way, right? First presented gap 25 handle boom. This area boom. This trap gap boom. Then this one boom. Whatever we are framing, it is boom. Oh man, I should be like this every day. I think I have to be upset every day because I'm feeling confident when I'm upset. So I think I should be upset every day to read the price in a good way. Brother, I don't know where it will go. All I care about this sell side liquidity. This sell side liquidity, then this last gap. And finally, this sell side liquidity and this area. So that is my interest to see can it reach for that area. All I care that market will come over here. So all I'm interested to think about sell. I'm not interested to look for buy. But obviously, if you are interested to look for buy, maybe from this gap, uh, you can try. You can try. What to say? I don't. I mean, yeah. So I have no comment about the buy. This is the unfilled gap. Until it is not filled 100%, I'm not interested to look for any kind of breaker block entry. So if you ask me, I'll see like this way: high, low, higher high. Okay, market will close below this lowest down close body close candle, which is gonna be my breaker block. Tap to this breaker block. I'll start to look for sell again for this sell side liquidity, something like that. This unfilled gap has been filled. This unfilled gap has been filled 100%. Now the breaker block is valid. So if it can make the breaker block, I'll look for sell. If it keep going higher, I'll let this go. Not interested to participate in that buy run. I can be wrong. Maybe this market will keep going higher and you wanted to take the buy. Please go for the buy. It's not valid as a breaker block yet because the market has to close below this candle first. So here, as you can see, yeah, this candle didn't close below this breaker block, so I wouldn't be able to take the entry over here because market didn't close. So if I miss this, I'm okay with that. I have no problem with that. I have to look for the body close below this breaker block first. Still, this is not the breaker block because body didn't close below this breaker block. It has to close below this breaker block. Would love to see how this gap is going to hold the market, which is a 22 YT model after taking the liquidity market structure sheet fair value gap. So here fair value gap entry, there stop loss maybe above this candle which has made this area. This is 22 YT model. Okay? So maybe until this area, this low, maybe until this low, and try to take a partial to the top of this last gap here. That could be a partial area. 22 YT model. I prefer the breaker block here instead of 22 YT model. This 22 YT model can work. Okay, I mean obviously it can work before taking that high. It can fall, but I'm only interested to think about the breaker block because market has already fallen lot. Not interested to believe the 22 YT model is only interested to think about that breaker block. So if it can close below this breaker block, I would love to take an entry from the breaker block. We'll just cover any kind of inverse gap market will make around this area. We'll cover that inverse gap for the Mohawk, and would love to hold the trade for this sell side liquidity. In the meantime, we'll try to take some partial anywhere here. And obviously this breaker block has to be created before 11:30. It's not the breaker block yet. If this candle take that high, then this is gonna be the breaker block. This is not going to be breaker block anymore. This whole candle is gonna be the breaker block if it can take that high. Again, this 22 IT model can work, but I'm not interested for the 22 IT model here. It is not only depending on 1 minute chart, also from 15-minute chart, as you can see here. This is the 15-minute chart. If you look over here, this is that 15-minute bearish gap. So market is now trading the 15-minute bearish gap. Last candle has closed below the 50% of that bearish gap. So after a big run, I need a gap. That gap, market will work with the 50% lower portion of this gap to think about the selling opportunity. So this is that bearish gap from that candle low to that candle high. This is the bearish gap from 15-minute chart. Sorry for talking about this unfilled gap. It should not be the unfilled gap. The bearish gap from 15-minute chart, which is from there to there here. So the 50% of that gap, market worked with the lower portion of this gap so far. So it is also supporting my idea that this market can keep falling. Again, if it can work from that 22 YT model, I'm okay with that, but I'm not interested to look for the entry from the 22 YT model. I'm only interested to think about that breaker block entry. If it provide me the breaker block entry, I'll try to catch that run from that breaker block, but that breaker block has to be created before 11:30. If it happened after 11:30, not interested to take any entries from that breaker block. If you are thinking about buy, please go for that. Okay, please go for that. Just don't blame me. If you miss it, don't blame me. So let's see if this candle can close here so that this breaker block is gonna be valid. Just little below of that breaker block, it has to close. I don't know why suddenly there is little volatility. Is there anything happen? Anybody knows something happening in the market? I mean, suddenly there is little volatility. In mini, isn't it this a bullish breaker in 5 minute? I don't know, brother. I don't use 5 minute chart, so I don't know about the 5 minute chart. What is happening over there? Uh, Trump inauguration will come after 45 minutes. Oh, okay. This low and that low, they are relatively equal lows, which is an sell side liquidity here. Sell side liquidity market has created another sell side liquidity over here. Oh, okay. So yeah, if something like that, obviously this entry is not valid. I mean, Trump was speaking, as I told, okay, this is not a good time to trade today. So this entry is not valid. If Trump is going out or someone is waiting, he is going to finish his speak or something like that. If it is happening, then obviously don't try to enter over here because it can be huge manipulation right now. Okay, so please don't try to take this entry. But I'll keep it like this way. I'll just keep it like this way. But please don't take any entry over here because, like, if Trump is going to finish his speak or something like that, please don't take any kind of entry. It will be a copyright problem, I guess, Jack. Yeah, soon the ceremony gets underway. Okay, so please don't try to enter right now because everyone is waiting for that inauguration. Inauguration. So please, it's not a good time to trade anymore. In my opinion, as everyone is waiting for something. So this market is also waiting for some kind of manipulation or something like that. So please don't try to trade right now. Yep, it can be little dramatic right now because of that waiting period of time. Yeah, guys. Yep, yep. So it didn't work, by the way, and market didn't make the breaker block. So I was only interested to think about the sell if and only if there is a breaker block. If it is not breaker block, obviously this not worthy to go for that trade over here. Either way, I mean, you understand that it has taken that liquidity. Maybe it will go little higher or little volatility around this area. Anything can happen. I mean, I never trade in this type of situation in my life. Even if I traded, I didn't know how to read the price. So the last election in America, in that time, I didn't know how to read the price or how to related all of this news with the market. I never knew that. So I really don't know, and I don't have any experience to trade in this type of situation. But as I told, it can be little dramatic around this area. Just let this go until they have finished or something like that. I guess it's the best idea to wait for something. By the way, I think it's enough for today. And yeah, still I'm bearish and I'm only interested to think that this market will fall. It will come around this area. Even if it failed to take this sell side liquidity, it will reach at least around this area here somewhere to this last parallel gap or the midnight open around this area below this last parallel gap. I want to see like this way. And yeah, if it happens, then it's a good ending and tomorrow can be better opportunity to think about the sell. If it started to go higher, maybe I will switch my bias from bearish to bullish. So I will start to think about the all-time high again if it started to go higher and close above the rejection block or around this area by today. If it do that, maybe I'll start to switch my bias. But to be honest, I'm not interested to think about bullish. I would love to see this market will keep falling, and that is why I want to see this market will come here somewhere below this last parallel gap by today. That's all I would love to see, but we'll see how it is going to finish. Okay, anybody has any question? If you have any question, then you can ask me. Otherwise I think it's done for today. At the same time, if any of you think about the buy, obviously you can go for that, but in my opinion, don't try to look for the buy. I mean, it's my opinion only. Please don't try to look for buy. If you are not enough patience, then keep looking for selling opportunity. Don't try to take any kind of buy. Buying is highly risky over here, in my opinion, but obviously it can start to go higher. If you're interested, you can go for that. Yeah, Outlander, I'm also going to finish it. Thank you for joining, brother, by the way. Insightful as always. Have a great day. Thank you, Slade. We'll call you tomorrow, Tito. Yeah, obviously, Outlander. Obviously, there's no restriction for my moderator. So my moderator can call me anytime. I was fully broken yesterday. Fully broken. I mean, I don't know how did I survive, but yeah, now I'm better, and I hope that in time I'll be much more better. But thank you for that, Outlander. Yeah. See you tomorrow. Until then, cheers, guys.